Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we are talking about manifestation, and we're also talking about service to others and authenticity. So a lot of this has to do with the concept that everyone is you pushed out. And one thing that I've learned while manifesting, trying to manifest what I want, is that a lot of times I will get a ping for something that I really want or need. And it occurred to me that when you give other people the things that you need, then you tend to get it back in return. And sometimes it won't always be from the same person, depending on what it is. But I'll give you a couple of simple examples. So if I'm feeling like I need comfort, if I'm feeling like I need reassurance, something like that, then I will check in with my partner or with my kids, or kind of like feel out the energy of the people around me and see where I can provide that for someone else. Because that feeling of servitude, that feeling of giving to others, really, not only does it put it out there into the world, but it really satisfies something within you as well. And say, for example, that you have like lower back pain and you really need a back rub. And you notice that you come across someone in your day-to-day life that you're close to, that you're willing to do this for, like a partner or a child or a mother, father, whatever. If you notice that they also need something along the lines of a back rub or a massage or some sort of care that you can provide for them, then do it for them and don't expect it in return. Don't ask for it in return. Just give selflessly, and the universe will provide it back to you in one way or another. And how this comes in is going to look different for everybody, especially because all of our situations are different, right? But I've noticed that giving is so fulfilling, first of all. And also that because everyone is you pushed out, the things that you need, other people around you are probably needing as well. You will more than likely find someone who has a similar problem to you that you can help. And in doing so, again, you're putting such good energy out there. And service to others is such a big, beautiful energy to put out into the world, and it comes back to us in such miraculous, beautiful, incredible ways where we feel blessed. You know, affirming, isn't it wonderful all the time, you know, isn't my life so wonderful, isn't it wonderful this, isn't it wonderful that. When we do this affirmation and we start to notice that we're in a situation where we're having a conversation about something and we have the choice to perceive something as positive or negative, if we say, isn't it wonderful, we can shift the perspective of that conversation. We can get out of a potential conflict. We can change the trajectory of the direction of the conversation. And it can just bring in so much positive energy right back to us. This is another, I'll give you an example. My husband and I were talking about religion and spirituality and all the belief systems around the world. And this is something that he and I don't always see eye to eye on specific things. He was raised Catholic and I was raised Christian, however, turned more towards the pagan, and then started studying Hindu, Buddhist, all these different things, spirituality. And he is more on the religious side of the spectrum, but he also agrees with a lot of things that I believe in, and I agree with a lot of things that he believes in, and we really do have a deep connection in that way. But there are times when we disagree on certain aspects. And we were having a conversation where I had the potential to get triggered by something that he said, but instead, I can't remember exactly what the phrase or word or sentence was that he said, but if I had went negative and turned that conversation into an argument and shut down and started this whole big thing, it would have ruined our day, possibly multiple days, depending on how long it took us to resolve the conflict. But instead, I thought to myself, and genuinely felt this because I do practice the affirmation, isn't it wonderful, constantly, especially, you know, when I notice things that I'm like, oh wow, what a beautiful sunset, isn't it wonderful that we have the opportunity to see such beauty in this world, like things like that. And that's kind of where I went with it. Like, I believe that all of these belief systems and religions and spiritual beliefs, things like that, that they all have things about them that are beautiful and right and wonderful. And then things that, you know, I don't always agree with, okay? And that's fine. But what I said was, isn't it wonderful that this world is so full of variety, that we have the choice to learn about all these different cultures and belief systems and religions, and that we all have this free will to decide what's right for us. Like, we don't have to put on other people for not believing the same way that we do, when we have been given this beautiful variety, this huge garden of beautiful things, beautiful temples, mausoleums, and churches, and all these different beautiful structures that represent people's belief systems, statues, and just incredible creative beauty in the world that we get to experience. And we don't even have to leave the comfort of our own home to see these beautiful things, right? We get to experience them from the comfort of our own home, and it's so wonderful that there's such variety. And that was something that really took the conversation to a good place. And, you know, isn't it wonderful that we're so connected to other people, that we're all one, that we have the opportunity to be of service to each other, and that whatever energy we put out there, we get back, right? So if authentically we believe that we get this wonderful feeling from helping others, why wouldn't we just do that without expecting anything in return, without wishing for, asking for, hoping for anything in return, just out of the kindness and love of our own hearts? That is the unconditional love, the high vibration of unconditional love. I don't necessarily know if it's the highest, but in my mind, it's one of the highest things that we can step into. And why wouldn't we put that out there every opportunity that we have, right? Now, the second part I wanted to talk about was authenticity. So, one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people in this world today don't tend to really put themselves out there in an authentic way. And that's not to say that you have to divulge all your secrets or pull all your skeletons out of the closet for everyone to see or anything like that. It's just a matter of, when we were talking about manifestation, we oftentimes talk about being delusional or stepping into a role or playing a part, right? In order to manifest that version of ourselves. But in reality, the version of ourselves that we are wanting to step into already exists, okay? You can think of it as like your higher self, your highest self, however you want to see it, your God state. But that is your true identity, your true self. So when you're manifesting and trying to become this genuinely become this person that you wish to be, you are really just stepping into that authenticity. And so instead of seeing it as like acting or playing a part, just understand that becoming this version of yourself is stepping into your true authenticity. And when you do that, you align with the higher vibrational energies. You step into a higher version of consciousness where you are more aware, where you are more educated, where you are of a higher mindset, emotionally intelligent. You've become this version of yourself that has the things you want because you have stepped into your true authentic self. And in order to do this, again, I've mentioned these things in other videos, I think it's important to really dive deep into who that is. So my technique that I used, and I did this today, and I know that people talk about these things, other manifestation coaches talk about scripting. One thing I did was I started making a list for myself I started with a general, like, short little, maybe 6 things that I want to use to define my ideal version of myself. Successful, healthy, wealthy, things like that. And so from that, I went in and I wrote, and you can do this too, that's why I'm trying to teach you this technique that I'm using to see how it all plays out. And I wrote down categories, and the first category was like physical looks. What do I want to look like physically? And I went into so much detail. I really gave myself the time and space to do this. And it was so relieving. It was definitely a form of self-care for me to really sit with myself and evaluate who I want to be in depth. And so I went into everything from my hair to my eyes to my fingernails to my body, my skin, like everything that I want for as far as I look physically. That was easy for me because I have an ideal image in my head of what I physically want to look like. Then I went into a little bit deeper into the relationship was the second category. How my relationship looks. And I wrote down between 4 and 6 words. And I numbered down the list, or like put little check boxes down the list of like things that were like could be lumped together. So smart, intelligent, intellectual, analytical, like things that kind of go together, maybe even the same word but just different versions of it, right? Because I really want to impress the subconscious mind as best I can with these ideas, with these words. And then even if they are repetitive, it's again just impressing the subconscious mind with this idea that I want to be this thing, I am this thing, I'm becoming this thing, this is the personality traits that make up the highest version of myself. And I did this for a relationship, I did this for my personality traits. And I'm going to keep going through the list. I stopped there because I had things I had to do for the day, but I also went into so much detail that I think I worked on this for like 3 hours today. And so a journaling prompt, something that you can do, a technique that will really help you step into your authentic self is to do something like this. You don't have to if you don't like scripting. You can do visualization. You can do whatever techniques you like, whatever works for you. But again, I'm just trying to teach from my own experience, and I thought it was a really great idea. So that was the second part of what I wanted to talk about with you guys today on this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you get everything. In fact, I intend that you will get everything that you desire. You will manifest the life of your dreams. And until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.